The argument spiraled, and in a moment of panic and desperation, she silenced him. Evelyn then led investigators to a shallow grave at the edge of the forest, just beyond where the search parties had been looking. The revelation shattered Mill Creek. For days, neighbors had searched alongside Evelyn, watching her cry, hearing her plead for Daniel's safe return. All the while, she knew the truth. The betrayal cut deeper than any stranger's crime ever could. Mill Creek was the kind of town where people felt safe leaving their doors unlocked at night. A quiet place surrounded by woods and farmland, where children walked to school on their own and neighbors always waved. But all of that changed on the morning of October 14, 2017. 12-year-old Daniel Harper left his home just before 8 o'clock. He wore his usual navy backpack, the same path to school he had taken countless times before. The distance was less than a mile. Yet that day, Daniel never arrived. By afternoon, the school had called his mother. By evening, the entire town was in panic. Search parties spread through the forest trails and cornfields. Volunteers shouted his name into the wind while police dogs traced the route he should have walked. Helicopters circled overhead, their searchlights combing the quiet town. But there was no trace of Daniel. Not a footprint, not a torn piece of clothing, not even his backpack. Fear began to suffocate Mill Creek. Rumors spread of a stranger in a dark car, of a drifter seen at the gas station, of predators lurking just beyond the streetlights. Investigators initially leaned toward the same theory, that Daniel had been the victim of a random act of violence, taken by someone who slipped into town unnoticed. Parents clutched their children tighter, and what was once a safe, close-knit community suddenly felt fragile, broken. Days passed with no answers. Then, on the fourth day, a volunteer made a discovery behind the town's small library. Hidden in the weeds was Daniel's backpack. Inside, among his schoolwork, was a piece of paper folded into quarters. The writing was messy, hurried, and it was Daniel's. It read, "I can't do this anymore. Please don't tell." The note confused investigators. Was this a runaway situation? Was Daniel forced to write it? Or was it a cry for help? Detectives started pulling at every thread of his life. Teachers revealed that Daniel's behavior had changed in recent weeks. He was quieter, his schoolwork slipping, his drawings growing darker. Friends recalled seeing him upset, even arguing with someone days before he vanished. The someone was not a stranger at all. It was his aunt, Evelyn Harper. Evelyn was deeply woven into Daniel's life. After his father's sudden death years earlier, she had stepped in, helping to raise him. To the town, she was devoted, loving, even selfless. But when investigators dug deeper, a different story emerged. Evelyn was drowning in debt. Her home was on the brink of foreclosure. Creditors hounded her day and night. She had even begun forging signatures to cover up her financial collapse. Daniel had stumbled across something he wasn't meant to see. Records, notices, maybe even forged documents, evidence of Evelyn's lies. Witnesses came forward saying they had seen her car near the wooded shortcut Daniel used to walk to school on the very morning he disappeared. Phone records placed a late-night call from Evelyn to Daniel the evening before. When detectives questioned her, Evelyn wept. She admitted to speaking with Daniel that morning but insisted it was only to reassure him. She said he was upset about school. She said she loved him too much to hurt him. But the cracks in her story grew wider. Under mounting pressure, Evelyn broke down. What she confessed stunned the town. On that October morning, she intercepted Daniel on his way to school. He had threatened to reveal her secrets to his mother. She begged him not to. He resisted. The argument spiraled, and in a moment of panic and desperation, she silenced him. Evelyn then led investigators to a shallow grave at the edge of the forest, just beyond where the search parties had been looking. The revelation shattered Mill Creek. For days, neighbors had searched alongside Evelyn, watching her cry, hearing her plead for Daniel's safe return. All the while, she knew the truth. The betrayal cut deeper than any stranger's crime ever could. The trial that followed was one of the most emotional in Mill Creek's history. Prosecutors painted Evelyn as manipulative, someone who chose deception over her nephew's life. The defense argued it was an accident, a tragic lapse in judgment. But the jury needed only a few hours to decide. Evelyn Harper was sentenced to life in prison without parole. For Daniel's mother, the loss was unbearable. First her husband and now her son. She never returned to Mill Creek. The home, the town, the people. It all became a reminder of what was stolen from her. The disappearance of Daniel Harper was never about a stranger hiding in the woods or a random act of violence. It was about betrayal. A betrayal from within his own family. The kind of betrayal that leaves scars on an entire community and a chilling reminder. Sometimes the greatest dangers don't come from outside. They come from the people we trust the most. For more true crime stories and shocking real-life cases, don't forget to subscribe to Justice Arena and hit the bell to stay updated. What do you think about the Daniel Harper case? Share your thoughts below. Your opinion might be featured in our next video.